Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, how important was it for this team to have a night under the limelight? Because we've had the entertainers in the past, but this was a special team as well and a special time for the city.
Yeah, I think now or never. Otherwise, the supporters that watched us won't be here anymore. You know, we're going back a long time. You know, to 82, 84. So we're still here and we're looking forward to the night, obviously. But you need to be, I guess, in your 40s probably to remember that era. You know, anyone under that will just have to have read the books and that, or watch the old films.
Yeah, I mean, it was a huge move at the time and a huge deal for you to come up here, but it sparked something off in the city, didn't it? Something really special that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a place obviously I played at with Liverpool, and you always felt it was a fantastic atmosphere. My father was born in Hetley Hall, and he was a Geordie, so that was another pull for me. And obviously I was coming to the end of my career, and moving down a division was probably a good move for me. You know, I could probably still score goals in the Premier, but not as many. So all those things added together, and a chance to finish my career at a club like Newcastle and hopefully get them up. I mean, it didn't happen in the first season, obviously, but the second season, my last one, we managed to do it.
Yeah, and the crowds just flocked at that time, didn't it? It was a great time to be a supporter.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I mean, obviously, it sounds daft, but as a player, you miss out on a lot of that before the game. You know, you sort of arrive and you go in, you get changed. When you come out, obviously, the atmosphere, even though the ground was very open-ended, if you know what I mean. There was no stands above. It looked like a bus stop behind one of the goals, didn't it? Obviously the Gallagate always had the scoreboard, but it was open. But the atmosphere was unbelievable. You know, you got 30-odd thousand people in there, and it was equal to 60, 70,000 at some of the other grounds. Yeah,
and even now we've just seen you signing the shirts. People still buy the shirt you wore when you were a player, so that must be a special feeling when you see that.
Yeah, I think when you look back at time, I mean, we've signed loads of shirts tonight from different eras, and you know, you have your favourites. Yeah. There's some that I really don't like. That some are horrible to sign because you can't actually see the autographs on. But I think going back to our playing day, you know, it embraced the city a little bit. You know, the Blue Star Brewery was very much the heart of the city, right across the road from the ground. And obviously it had the Tyne Bridge in there somewhere, although people never really noticed it. So that was an iconic shirt, you know, and I think when we came later on, there's been others that I really like. You know, when I managed the particular one without the collars on, you know, I think fantastic shirts. So yeah, it's lovely when you come and meet people. They bring stuff and it takes you back. You know, you're back to 1980s, which, you know, to be fair, is damn near 40 years ago.
And at that moment when you actually sealed promotion and you handed the city top flight football, very special again.
Yeah, well, that was the idea of coming, you know, and we didn't quite manage it the first year, but you know, we got Peter Beardsley on board and a couple of other players, and we still only managed to get up in third place. I mean, it wasn't easy. There was a couple of teams better than us, there's no doubt, but we managed to do it, and I think the crowd had a massive impact on that. You know, if you look at the games that we won at St James's Park against the good teams, the crowd made the difference. So yeah, it was a good way for me to sort of write a final chapter in my career. You know, it was a fantastic feeling in the city. You know, because you have to live here or be a Newcastle supporter really to understand what the football club means to the community. And yeah, it was a great way to finish, obviously.
You've talked about getting it, as in like your dad was from here, all that kind of thing. Did you always feel like there could be something special in this city with this football club?
Well, there's no reason why there shouldn't be. You know, as time's gone on, it's more difficult. You know, we probably had more chance in the 70s and the 80s than you actually have now, regardless of what's happening in the club, because you know the attracting the big players to Newcastle is always going to be more difficult. With the London clubs and the big players now are mainly foreign players, no disrespect to the English players, and so all those things have sort of conspired to go against Newcastle because of its location. But there's no reason why, you know, one day they can't get it back, you know. But I think this time it has to start from youngsters coming through again. It has to be a different way. You're not going to attract the big name players to Newcastle. The really big name players are going to go Man United, Liverpool, you know, Tottenham, Arsenal, Chelsea, and then after that Newcastle's pitching in with all the others.
Brilliant. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks for your time.
You're welcome.